The session today is presented by a panel of people representing the community partner agencies of OCAN. OCAN is Orillia's Community Action Network.
Definition of domestic violence is any use of physical or sexual force, actual or threatened, in an intimate relationship, including emotional, psychological abuse, or harassing behavior. Within that definition is intimate relationship. So that will include opposite sex and same-sex partners. The relationships vary in duration and legal formality, and will include current and former partners. These are the most common that we see is homicide and attempt homicides, assaults, sexual assaults, uttering threats, criminal harassment, which would include stalking, and mischief. Any dispute between intimate partners where the police are called is classified and investigated as a domestic. If upon investigation an officer believes that reasonable grounds exist to lay a charge under the Criminal Code of Canada or any provincial offences, then they shall lay a charge, which means we're not able to withdraw that charge once it's laid. There's going to be a minimum 2-officer response. We ensure the safety of all involved people, so that will include the people in the intimate relationship, any witnesses, and any children. All of these people are separated. We collect names and dates of birth of all involved people. We also determine what took place. So we need to know who called us and why. Simcoe Muskoka Family Connections is notified if either involved person has a child or children under the age of 16. We ask all risk factor questions on our domestic violence supplementary report with the involved persons.
So our vision is working with communities with children, youth, and families in order to support them to thrive. To work with community partners and colleagues in different program development in order to ensure the safety and well-being of all children, youth, and their families. We are governed underneath the Child and Family Services Act, and family violence is captured in there, and actually we've developed the eligibility for service spectrum. We are expected to support the families as best as they can prior to and post separation, and then mitigate any of the impact concerns that are going on with the children that are in that home. So essentially, once the police or a community person phones in, we initiate an investigation. From that investigation, we will determine whether it's a 12-hour response or a 7-day response. And how that differs is there immediate safety issues going on right now that those children are not going to be safe. And then if we deem that that there's enough safety concerns that we have to expand our service, then it goes into ongoing services. And who knows as to how long that could be. It could be a short couple of months, it could be a year. It really depends on what the family needs.
North Simcoe Victim Services provides assistance to individuals that have been impacted by crime, tragic circumstance, or disaster. We offer emotional support, practical assistance. We are community-based. We are a nonprofit charitable organization, and we have specially trained staff and volunteers that help individuals and families with immediate needs, and we provide referrals to our community partners if other programs and services are appropriate. We may be asked to attend to a person's home, to the police detachment, to the hospital. Our clients often just come to our office. And our first priority is always addressing issues of safety concerns. So if the individual needs to leave to go to a safe place, we can assist with that. That might be a shelter, that might be family and friends. We may have to arrange for accommodations through the County of Simcoe Emergency Housing. We also assist with basic needs such as clothing, food, and personal care items. Our crisis responders do an initial needs assessment when they first arrive on scene, and they address safety concerns of the individual at that time. And then staff follow up with a more comprehensive needs assessment and a personalized service plan.
Greenhaven Shelter is established for women who self-identify as women, 16 years of age and older, with or without dependent children, who are experiencing and having fear of their relationship. They're not thinking in the sense of how logical this works and what would make sense and what's the best stage and how do I do this in a really logical pattern. We can assist in walking through that roller coaster of emotion. we understand from that trauma-informed place that in that moment, things don't make sense. And it's really uncertain and it's really scary to think about what comes next. Greenhaven is a voluntary service. This is about a support service that you choose, not something that someone can tell you you need. We're there 24/7. There's always someone on the other end of the phone. You come because you choose to. You leave when you choose to. We try to keep it as an emergency-based service, but it's very individually tailored to the person who needs it.
Our role is to provide service and support to people and assistance information about the court system throughout the entire time that a matter is before the courts. We explain the bail process, what's going to happen that day. We explain if somebody's going to be released, what those conditions may be. But we're also asking for their input in terms of what they would like to see and if they had to suggest any kinds of release conditions. If the matter's going to go to a trial, then we book a prep meeting. We prepare people to testify. We don't discuss their evidence again, but we can give them some suggestions around what kinds of questions they may be asked, what sort of things to maybe turn their mind to. We will advocate for any kind of testimonial aids that are required. In some cases, people need to testify outside of the courtroom. We can also put a screen up in front of people so they can't see the accused person. We can arrange an interpreter if that's necessary. And we have a quiet place. We have an office in every courtroom, and it's away from all of the hustle and bustle, if you will. We make sure that people are aware that they have a right to complete a victim impact statement. We provide them with any court orders that pertain to them because they have a right to have it. We're the only ones who will do that. The victim support line, so if someone's in custody, that's the service that will notify them when somebody is being released. They're the experts in their own life, as Liz said, and we're not here to tell them what they need to do or what they should do or how to, maneuver. We're just here to help them get through that process, and they have a right to have some input into what's going to happen with the next part of their life.